Welcome, everyone. It's good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
And I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight, the city of Spokane is urging people not to drink the tap water in one northeast Spokane neighborhood. So here is the area impacted. People could be without drinking water for up to a week there. It is kind of a rectangular area running east to west from Havana to Freya and north to south from Crown to Wellesley.
A commercial hydro seed vehicle used a fire hydrant in this area, and some contamination could have gotten into the system. KREM 2's Casey Decker is live right now with the latest update from the city. Casey?
Yeah, Jane, Mark, right now I am at the Hilliard Post Office on Freya, and this is where crews are distributing cases of water. Now, crews are also going door to door through the affected area, giving out cases to the various homes that are affected, and also handing out these contamination notices. Now, as you mentioned, it could be up to a week before water is drinkable again, but you can bathe in the water or water your plants or wash things with it. But right now they just say do not drink it if you're in this affected area here on this map. Now, within this area, there are mostly commercial properties, I'm told, but there are also obviously plenty of homes. A commercial hydro seed vehicle was using a fire hydrant, and some of its materials, we don't know what yet, backflowed into the water system. As I mentioned, they don't know what the contaminant is right now, but they learned about it from citizens who noticed that their water looked pretty different. Take a listen.
It had a slight green appearance, and there's also some fibers in the water that is consistent with use in hydro seeding. So upon finding that out, we then looked at the MSDS sheet, confirmed with our water quality expert and a local lab to look to identify the constituents in the water.
And in addition to the water distribution that you're seeing here at the Hilliard Post Office and the distribution that's happening door to door, water crews, of course, are also working to actually clean out the pipes of the contamination. That means they basically need to force all the bad water out of the system. And that, of course, could take up to 7 days, though it could be fewer. This water station here will be open until 10 p.m. tonight. And every day that it's affected, it'll be open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Live from Hilliard, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
Casey, thank you very much. And we are always looking ahead to the weekend. On Sunday, hundreds of new Washington laws take effect. Mark has a refresher on the ones that caught a lot of attention during the legislative session. Mark?
Yes, good evening, Jane. We'll start with the laws impacting our health. Starting Sunday, parents can no longer cite personal or philosophical reasons for not vaccinating their children against measles, mumps, and rubella. That's the MMR vaccine. Washington, one of only a handful of states that allowed personal vaccine exemptions. Another law we have followed is surprise medical billing. That's when patients unknowingly go to a hospital out of their insurance network and then get a huge bill. Well, that won't happen anymore in Washington. It's something Congress is also taking up, so this could eventually become federal law as well. When kids head back to school in about a month or so, seniors will no longer need to pass statewide tests to graduate. This year, teachers are also strongly encouraged to include lessons about the Holocaust. Next up, or rather heads up for motorcyclists, starting on Sunday, you need to carry liability insurance. If you're caught without it, you could get a $550 fine, and you could even lose your license if you get into an accident. Jane, these are just a handful of the new laws. There are dozens more. You can learn more about those by heading to our website, which is KREM.com.
Mark, thank you very much. In other news, the Cheney Complex fire is about 20% contained now. Firefighters, though, say they expect to make a lot of progress over the next 2 days. Nearly 200 firefighters are there working to put out the fire. It's burned so far about 170 acres. To give you some perspective on that, Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane is 100 acres.
There are still level 1 evacuation notices for 6 homes near Graham Road. That means just be aware of the fire in that area.
As the fire grew on Wednesday, volunteers went door to door to tell people about evacuation orders. KREM 2's Shayna Waldtower has more on that.
Yeah, if a fire is really close to your home, you know that the time to evacuate comes down to just the seconds. And especially when you're trying to grab your valuables, your animals are important as well. That's why this team is focused on helping you evacuate.
As long as there's a fire, we are there for the animals. I know, you got a bug, don't you? You got a bug?
Sonia Richardson has been working with animals for years, but she's been with this program for 5. It's the Eastern Washington Equine Council, a team that works to help neighborhoods evacuate their homes with their animals in the case of a fire. Ones just like the Cheney Complex fire.
The other day when we arrived on scene, we only had 2 firemen available and 1 tanker.
Logs on the ground, we need to evacuate, get all people ready to go.
So Sonia and her team went to alert people in the area of the incoming danger, allowing fire crews to stay focused on the flames.
They asked us to go and tell them, okay, this is where we're at, this is what we need you to do.
The team trains through FEMA and works directly with local fire crews, so when the time comes, they're going door to door, warning people to leave and helping them gather their animals.
Eastern Washington evac, anybody on the property? We have a fire approaching fast. We got bombs on the ground, we need to evacuate.
Hi, my name is
It's time
Sonia.
to
I'm
get
with
out.
the livestock evacuation team. We have a fire and we're asking that you evacuate at this time. We have bogs on the ground. They'll go ahead and remove your horses for you. Please pack your items into your home and leave immediately.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go ahead and take them.
Let's go, bring him down to the trailer, guys.
It's work Sonia says she knows is saving lives.
That way it's not so scary for the animals. The homeowners aren't rushed. There's no excitement.
In Cheney, Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
Well, in terms of weather, all is calm right now. And as we head into the weekend, the winds are going to pick back up, though.
Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joins us now with more on that. Thomas?
Yeah, the wind's going to be the key weather factor to keep an eye on, not only tonight, but into the weekend as well. So let's put that in perspective of the Cheney Complex fire. Right now, we're seeing winds at about 10 miles per hour, but we know that the fire crews basically have the fire surrounded. They're going to attack it inward and hopefully get that more contained, because by tomorrow, those winds are going to be a lot stronger. It could even be gusting up to 35 miles per hour. And there's a fire weather watch in effect for most of eastern Washington. So any wildfires that are occurring at the moment could actually spread quickly. But thankfully, the firefighters, they are doing a great job on that Cheney Complex fire to prevent that kind of activity for tomorrow. But see it for yourself, those sustained wind speeds at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, and then the wind gusts can be in that 30 mile per hour range. So at the bottom line, it'll be a breezy and windy day for tomorrow. Though today was quite hot, temperatures once again topping out in the 90s, really for most of the entire area. Now, not quite as hot heading into the weekend, so we'll go in depth of your weekend forecast and let you know just how many days will be dry in our 7-day forecast. That in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Thomas. Well, this time of year, it's one of the most popular places to be when the weather's nice, the Spokane River. On the North Idaho side, that means a lot of boaters on the water.
And that has the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office holding special patrols on the water looking for boaters going too fast. As KREM 2's Taylor Vito explains, the problem has become worse in recent years.
North Idaho water, especially the Spokane River, has always been popular, but you see over the years there have been more and more boaters coming out here, and many of those boats more powerful than they used to be. That means a lot of wake that is drawing complaints from area homeowners. There are parts where you can really cruise and other areas when you need to take it a little bit slower, keeping a watchful eye.
Checking speed.
The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office.
You can't be going over 35.
Going too fast or too close to shore can be a big problem on the river. Wakes created by boats can be unforgiving to shorelines and potentially people swimming or standing on nearby docks. So this week and next, the Sheriff's Office is holding special patrols on the river, looking for those excessive wakes and reckless drivers.
Boats driving too close to one another, boats driving too close to shore, boats driving too close to docks.
Over the last couple of months, authorities say they've received several calls from property owners here. This as there's been an increase, they say, of boats specifically designed to crank out big wakes.
But lately, because of the type of boats that are recreating on the river, we're seeing an increase in damage from those boats. And that's in turn causing a lot of damage to docks and shorelines for the property owners.
Meanwhile, county leaders are considering beefing up the county's laws as they relate to wakes. It's been recommended that they hire additional marine deputies for the Spokane River, too. Fortunately for us, no news was good news. Boaters we saw kept their speed in check, but
Hey, this is a swim area only.
that didn't mean this marine deputy didn't have to deal with some boaters tying up where they shouldn't be.
Yeah, you can't be anywhere past that swim area only. Could I get a driver's license registration from you if you have them?
Along the Spokane River, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Beautiful day out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, we often